Hello and welcome to Country Life Simple. I think you've got one of my beautiful Valentine's roses in the picture. These are for my husband. Very nice, isn't it? I'll put them aside for now and I want to introduce you to my Ankarsrum. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Any Swedish people, please give me an indication of if I have pronounced this correctly or not. But I watched some YouTube videos and that's how they pronounced it. So hopefully that is correct. It just arrived a week ago or so and I have used it once and I'm so impressed. This is not sponsored. I bought this for my own money, for myself. I'm not saying you have to buy one. I'm not saying you need any kitchen machine to do your sourdough bread. You can hand knead, especially the rye breads. You normally do not need to knead the bread. But I've got the Kenwood you would have seen in all of the other videos. What I don't like about the Kenwood is firstly its shape. It's like an oval sort of shape, like a conical shape. And I have seen that a lot of times, and you would have seen that too in the videos, when I tried to mix the dough actually stuck on the sides, which always has annoyed me. I know there's ways around this potentially, but I always sort of been scraping the sides off forever and it feels really annoying. Also, I am very short. I'm 5'2", 1.57-ish, and when the Kenwood is here, I basically look inside it like this. I really have to, it's quite high. I've got some attachments for the Kenwood which work great and I do like them, but a lot of them go actually on top of it, and sometimes I can't even have it underneath my cupboards, and my cupboards here, my overhead cupboards are quite high. It just doesn't fit. That's how high it is, and that means that I'm doing something. So for example, when I'm mincing, I'm working up here, and it is quite annoying. I can't see. I have to basically stand on a little stool to look into it. It's not great for short people like me. And I had looked at an Ankarsrum before, and I always thought they do not have any attachments. I recently did some more research and found out that they have basically the same attachments as you can get for your KitchenAid, for your Kenwood, or for any of the other mixers. I know there's some other brands as well. There's Wilfa, there's Bosch. Some aren't available here in Australia. So I wanted obviously to get something which is widely available. So in case of, I break something, I can get it repaired. So after a lot of thinking about it, I've been thinking about the Ankarsrum for years. And I finally bit the bullet and bought one. Bought one in a forest green. I hope you can see that color. Very pretty color, like a nice matte dark green, which matches sort of, the rest of my house nicely. And I love green. It's my favorite color. So the Ankarsrum itself came with the dough hook, and when I first saw this I thought, how the hell is that supposed to mix bread dough? It does it well. It also came with, I think they call it the dough knife. I'm not quite sure why they call it a knife, because it really is just plastic, but it's like a scraper on the side of the bowl, so anything on the side of the bowl actually gets scraped back into the middle. It also comes with a dough roller. I tried to use that last time. It was a bit weird to use. I think I have to practice with this one a little bit more. I think this one needs a little bit more practicing before I feel comfortable enough to put this on video. But in a lot of groups and forums and Ankarsrum YouTube videos, a lot of people love using the roller. I'll probably get used to it, but in the moment I'm just using the dough hook. It's got a bowl, stainless steel bowl, and love the shape of it. It's nice and flat on the inside. Perfect for what I want to do. It also comes with I'll show you what else it comes with. So it also comes with the balloon whisks for like cream and things like that. It comes with, what are these called? These are called cookie whisks. I'll probably use them today as well. I am going to make some muffins, so I'll figure out which one is the right tool for muffins, and then I'll use that. And it comes with the beater bowl, which is a plastic bowl, and you put this on here like that. So that's the attachments it comes with, and then obviously you can buy some other ones. So I'm gonna get some attachments. What I also like about it, you can see it's not that high. Like even if I do have the bowl in here, I can easily look into it. I don't have to stand on my tippy toes to look in. And if you do have attachments like a pasta roller or something like that, you actually put the machine on its side and you put the attachment here, and it's like right in front of me. So from a, what do you call it? From a ergonomic point of view, this is obviously a lot nicer than having to do something up here. So yeah, I really like the machine. I think it got created in the 1940s in Sweden. Like I said, I'm struggling with the name, Ankarsrum, I think. Easy to use. It's got a timer and it's got a speed button. If you turn the timer on, it actually will, you know, if you put it on for 12 minutes, it will just go for 12 minutes and then stop, which is handy as well. Not for rye bread. You don't want to overwork that. But I can also just use the speed button. I can just use like no timer. I just tell it to stay on until I actually turn it back off. So with all further ado, oh, what I also like about it, and you will see that in a minute, like the KitchenAid and the Kenwood, you get the bowl and then you put the dough hook in or whatever you use, and it rotates the dough hook or the whisk or whatever you use for whatever you bake. With this one, it's actually the bowl which moves. These stay in position, so therefore, yeah, it's the bowl which moves. You will see that, and I absolutely love that. So today we're gonna make a 100% rye bread sandwich loaf. No, you don't actually need a mixer for that at all, but I'd like to use it and I want to show you. So I want to show you from the top. I already prepared my pre-dough. I already had the recipe on this channel here before, so I'll link it somehow. I know people can link it up in there, and I'll see if I can do that, but otherwise I'll put it in the description box below. And I just want to show you how this machine works, okay? So let's set it up. Basically, all I have to do is put this little dough knife in. And like I said, I want to use the dough hook, so I need to put that in. And I can put all my ingredients in and then turn it on. I'll show that to you. I'll show you from above. I'll move you around a little and then I'll be back. All right, so I've got all my ingredients in here, and again, this is the dough knife, this is the dough hook, and I basically take, hopefully you can see this, I take this here, move it across, and put it into this so it stays in position. And then I have this screw here to move this further to the middle and then tighten it. And now I'll turn the power on, and I need to knead that dough for 8 minutes. So I'm gonna put the timer on 8. And this is the slowest speed, which that's all I need. So hopefully you can see this. See how it sort of scrapes here nicely off the sides and then back into the middle. How clean the sides are. All right, we'll do this for 8 minutes now. Okay, now the timer has finished, and I've forgotten to show you, Ankarsrum also comes with like a little scraper, and firstly I'm gonna take all of these things back out. So this is spring loaded. I can move this back and forward. I'm gonna take the dough hook out, and I don't know about you, but I can notice how much smoother the dough is compared to the Kenwood, for example. I'm not saying that the Kenwood is not good. A lot of people absolutely love it, but for me personally, this is the winner. It also comes with a lid. So now if I would want to just, leave it covered here, I can put the lid on and it stays like this. But I'm actually going to put this one straight into the bread tin, which I oiled while this was working. I'll show you how smooth the dough looks like. Look at that. See how clean the sides are? Yeah, that's really good. So I'm going to fill the dough into my bread tin, and then I'm going to leave it. Good question. Normally, the recipe says I should leave it for 2 hours at 24 degrees. However, it's probably close to 30 and super humid. So I'll probably leave it for about 45. I'll see. I'll show you how I determine. So firstly, I'll take the bread dough out of here and put it in the bread tin. And because the bottom is flat, it really easily comes out of the bowl. So I just flatten this here a little bit, make it as even as I can, and then I let it rest with a tea towel on top of it for about 2 hours. Mind you, it is quite warm where I am. It might be a little bit shorter, but what I'm sort of expecting to see before I put it in the oven is a rise probably just over the baking dish. And I'm trying to get it as even as possible. But that'll do. It'll sort itself out. I shall soak this and go and water my garden. See you in 2 hours. Alright, so this is how the bread looks like. Turned out pretty good. It's not too heavy, so like some of the breads. Let's slice it up. Nice and crispy. Beautiful. Looks really good inside. Like a really nice, yummy rye bread. I hope you enjoy it. All right, so I've got a giant piece of roast pork lying here. So here we have 2.5 kilos of a leg roast pork. And I just bought that from the supermarket on special. So what I'm going to do firstly is I'm going to slice off a couple of slices for my mum so she can have some lunch with that. And then out of the remaining, I'm going to make 3 different cold cuts actually. So I'm going to slice this piece in the back here. I'm going to slice that off. I'm going to make a ham out of this. And then I'm going to slice another piece like this. So the ham I'm just going to put in a dish, and I'm going to put a salt brine in here, and then I'm going to leave this in the fridge overnight to pickle. Alright, so this piece I'm going to make as a cold meat, and I'm just going to put, this is garlic salt, some normal salt, some white pepper, some garlic, and some ginger. And then the other side. And then I'm going to fry this from each side just to sear it. And then put it in the oven for probably about an hour at a low temperature, like 130 degrees, just until it reaches about 68 degrees on the inside. And then I also got, I've got some dinner in here, and this is going to be our dinner. And then I cut off some small pieces. I'm going to fry them, and I'm going to mix them with some chicken I still have left over. And then the other one, obviously, I already put in a brine in the fridge overnight, and I'm cooking that tomorrow in the Schinkenfee in the ham cooker, and make some ham out of that. So yesterday I tried to make 3 different kinds of cold meat. I think 2 sort of worked out pretty well. The last one I'm not 100% sure, because I noticed at the last minute that I didn't have one of the main ingredients, which is gelatin. But I'll show you the 2. I'll show you in order of how it worked out best. So the piece which worked out best was the roast pork we did yesterday. So that is basically a piece of roast pork, and I fried it in the pan on each side, and this is how it looks like now. I already cut a piece off for breakfast, so this looks really nice. I'm just going to slice some and put this in a container for breakfast and lunches. So we have some cold meat, so I tried to slice it thinly. Yeah, I fried that in the fry pan on each side, and then put it in the oven at 130 degrees for about an hour, so that the core temperature is about 68 degrees. And yeah, this looks pretty delicious, and it smells really good. So I'm just going to cut this, and like I said, I normally take a container with me to work, so I can just have some, meat and cheese and things like that on bread I don't like pre-made sandwiches very much at all. I like them fresh, so that's how I take them to work. Okay. I'll sort this a little bit later. And then the next one we made was a piece of ham. So I pickled the ham I had it vacuum sealed. Unfortunately, it was an awkward piece of meat, so hence the ham sort of turned out a bit awkward. And I'm going to slice it now for the first time. But that does look nice. I'm going to leave this in a piece. Just wanted to slice some off. So yeah, like I said, I pickled it for 8 hours in a vacuum container, and then put it in the Schinkenfee, the ham cooker, for 2 hours. And that looks pretty good. I'm very happy with that. Taste test. Yep, that's nice. Very good. I'll just clean my work surface here a bit. That roast pork is delicious. Really nice crust. Yeah. And then the last one I made, that's probably a little disaster. So this is supposed to be a cold meat cut. And yes, I put this in a plastic bag because it was cold. So there was no heat. We'll see. So this basically was just some, it was chicken and pork diced, and then I put it in the food processor. In my case, I put it in the Thermomix, mixed it up. It already had spices in it. And if you wonder about the color, that's beetroot juice. A little bit too much beetroot juice because, as you can tell, it's really reddish. And then you're supposed to put gelatin in it. And I could have sworn I had gelatin, but I didn't. So I tried it with arrowroot powder. Oh, no, I think I took tapioca starch. Yeah, tapioca starch. And now it's a lot softer than it probably should be. So yeah, this doesn't really slice very well at all. I'll do a taste test, and if it doesn't turn out nice, chicken food it is. This actually does taste nice. I'm surprised. This tastes nice, but I think this would be more of a spread. So I'm going to take 2 of these jars, put it in there, half for us and half for my mum, and we can just spread it on the bread. It's still nice, but yeah, I was supposed to slice it, but I didn't have any gelatin. I will definitely try that again. It is really handy with any sort of leftover meat. If you have a little bit of leftover chicken, leftover pork, anything like that, already, you know, spiced and sort of sits in the fridge and nobody wants to eat it. Just chuck it in the food processor. Add some gelatin. You don't have to add the beetroot juice, but it gives it a nicer color, because otherwise it sort of turns into like a not so appetizing color. Don't put too much beetroot juice. It was supposed to be 3 tablespoons, and I didn't bother measuring it. I just sort of tipped it, and then it was too much. But it tastes really good.
I'm happy with that. So 3 kinds of cold meat, very quick and easy to make, especially if you have gelatin. But definitely way cheaper than when you buy this stuff in the supermarket, and no preservatives. So hopefully you can give this a go as well. Tastes awesome on some German rye bread. Give it a go and let me know if you like it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.